Hello everyone, today's poem is Mulan Ci or Mulan Shi by No Name. Mulan, do you feel a little bit familiar with? Yes, the Disney film Mulan, the female hero in the ancient China. This poem is the very original source of this story, and there's so many rewritings or refilmings of this story through the Chinese history until today, and now it goes to Hollywood, Disney. So this poem actually is to be considered in the year around 500, which is the North Dynasty, from roughly 400 to 580 the year. And this poem is believed to be at the end of the North Dynasty, so probably after year 500 sometimes. And this poem is describing to the wars between the North Dynasty to the more north country, which is called Rouran. So the big story is the North Dynasty actually is established by the nomad race from the central steppes, roughly from the Mongolia steppe, and they came south and conquered the land, which is along the Yellow River, but still north to the Yangtze River. So this is a big area, and also it's a core area in the ancient China, which is the most with the most population and most wealth in this area. And they don't have their language, so they use the Mandarins. But the Han people, the original Chinese people in this area, they are not allowed to join the army, and the only job for them is to be a peasant or to do the business. So only the North Dynasty people from the nomad people could be join the army. But later on, the Han people is allowed to join the army, and so that's the very background of the story. So the Han people can be allowed. Mulan apparently to be a Han people because before joining the army, she's doing the sewing job, so making clothes. So that's the typical Han people's business. The man will go to the farmland to do the planting, to do all the work in the field, and the women will stay in house and clean the house and doing the sewings. 男耕女织, that's the idiom to describe the situation. Poem is a folk poem, but it's rewritten by some of the intellectuals, still with no name. So basically it's a folk song. Let's have the poem and see the difference and the history background from the Disney film. Mulan Ci, Mulan, the very famous name, the girl's name. Ci, a type of poem, can be sent, and normally the sentence is with rhythm at the end of the sentence. 唧唧复唧唧，木兰当户织。唧唧 is the simulation to the sewing machine sound. Mulan当户织, Mulan is sewing in her house. So Mulan should do the sewing work in-house. It's proved he's the Han people. And so the sentence is Ji he's doing the sewing again and again with no stopping, and he's sewing. 不闻机杼声，惟闻女叹息。机杼 is part of the sewing machine, a component. Here it refers to the sewing machine. So at the third person, we don't hear the sound of the sewing machine, but hear the sound a girl is signing. So at just a moment before, we hear the sound of the sewing machine with never stop, and a little bit later the sewing machine stopped and a girl is signing there. So at the third person, he came into the picture. 问女何所思，问女何所忆。So I'm asking the girl, so what you are thinking of, and what things remind of you? 女亦无所思，女亦无所忆。Mulan, the girl, answered, I didn't think anything. I didn't remind of anything. I remind nothing. Anyhow, it's not a fact. 昨夜见军帖，可汗大点兵。So last night I see the poster for the army's enrollment. 军帖 is the enrollment poster for the army, for the soldiers. 可汗 is just like the emperor, but the name implies it's not a Han people, it's from the nomad people. So the nomad people, they call their king as Khan. So this is quite right, because in the North Dynasty, the emperor is the nomad people. So he was called Khan. And also the end of the North Dynasty, the capital city is Luoyang or Chang'an, so which is today's city Luoyang, still called Luoyang, and Chang'an is Xi'an. 可汗大点兵, so the emperor is summoning the soldiers, is calling the soldier to enroll. 军书十二卷，卷卷有爷名. So the posters has 12 volumes. So 12 volumes actually is not a real figure, but it's said so many volumes, and every volumes have my father's name, 爷名. 爷 in today's language is a grandpa, but in the ancient time, the 爷 is father or uncle. So even till today in Xi'an, the people still call his or her father as 爷. The Shanxi Hua, the Shanxi dialect is 爷. So 爷 in Shanxi still a father. It's quite similar or same like the ancient time. So every volume has my father's name. That means my father was summoned by the emperor to join the army. 阿爷无大儿，木兰无长兄. So my father, 阿爷 is the no meanings, but阿姨, so that has no meanings. That's a usual character in front of the name, the father's name. 阿爷无大儿 has no sons. 木兰无长兄. Mulan, myself, don't have an elder brother. 大儿 big sons, 长兄 elder brothers, which means Mulan's father could have sons, but is too young to join the army. Mulan, she can doing the sewing work, so roughly it should at least a teenager, old teenager or above teenager, around 20. 愿为市鞍马，从此替爷征. So, in the previous sentence, Mulan said he has nothing to think of, nothing to remind of, but actually he has a lot of thought. She's signing, she's doing the sewing work, and she thinks so much things about her father was summoned by the emperor to join the army. She signs, and finally, until this here, she made her decision. 愿为市鞍马，从此替爷征. So I will buy the saddles and horse, and from now on, 从此, from now on, I will replace my father, 替爷, replace my father to join the army. 征 means much, and also has another name is to summon. So I will replace my father to be summoned by the army, by the emperor. So that's the beginning of this story. 东市买骏马，西市买鞍鞯，南市买辔头，北市买长鞭. So this describes the Mulan answered the call of the army, and she had to prepare the weapons for herself. So she went to the east market to buy the horse, and went to the west market to buy the saddle, and to the south market to buy the peitou, bridle, and to the north market to buy the whip. Actually, there's no such a huge city like this. So even in the Tang Dynasty, the Chang'an city has 1 million people. It has two big markets, East Market and West Market, 东市, 西市. And there's a museum today in the West Market in today's Xi'an, so you can have a look how the West Market is. And there's also another story. For Chinese, 东西 means the good. So 买东西, you purchase some good, is in the Mandarin is 买东西. So the East and West, the two Mandarin character combines together, became the name as a good, because someone said in the Tang Dynasty, either you go to the East Market or you go to the West Market. So you 买东西, 东 and 西 became the name of a good or stuff. And so here, from here, actually, there's no such a huge city with 3-4 market in the east, west, north, and south. But here is not a real figure, but it means from here we can identify it's a big city. So it very probably is Luoyang or it's Chang'an city, the capital city in the North Dynasty. And so Mulan now make herself fully equipped with weapon and horses. 旦辞爷娘去，暮宿黄河边，不闻爷娘唤女声，但闻黄河流水鸣溅溅. 旦 in the morning's time. 辞 so I say farewell to someone. So in the morning, Mulan say farewell to her father and mother. 爷娘 father and mother, not grandpa. And 暮宿黄河边, in the dawn's time, at the night. So they marched for one day and they arrived the river side of the Yellow River. So from this sentence is a real descriptions. This should be the Luoyang, because in Chang'an it's not a 1 day's trip, could be 2 or 3 days trip. But Luoyang, I think, is roughly 1 day or 2 days trips quite enough. So 不闻爷娘唤女声，但闻黄河流水鸣溅溅. So here actually is a little reflection of the feeling of Mulan herself. She cannot hear her father and mother calling her. So this means actually Mulan is thinking of her father and mother, and he's thinking of her mother and father might be calling her at home far away. So the only sound is the river's sound of the Yellow River. 但闻黄河流水鸣溅溅. Okay, the second day. 旦辞黄河去，暮至黑山头. So in the morning we say farewell to the Yellow River, and at the dawn time we get to the mountain top of Heishan, Black Mountain. Mount Negro. Okay, so that's maybe not the real trip or descriptions, but it means the trip is northward bound. So the battle is with the Rouran, is not with the South Dynasty. 不闻爷娘唤女声，但闻燕山胡骑鸣啾啾. So again, the second day, at the dawn time, when they arrived to the camp place, Mulan is thinking about her mother and father and thinking the real situations. Maybe her father and mother is calling her name at home. 但闻燕山胡骑雄赳赳. So she cannot hear her father and mother, but the sound is the horse's sound. 胡骑, the Han's horse. 鸣啾啾, the sound is also a simulation of the sound. 鸣啾啾, the horse of the Han is shouting. And Yanshan is the place name. So Yanshan normally refers to the mountain just north of today's Beijing. And Heishantou could be the Yinshan today in the Mongolia, which is Dalan Kala. Kala is in Mongolia, it means black. So Yinshan is a very long mountain, more than 1,000 kilometers west to east. So this is a north and south separation of the two different places, and also this is the frontier areas between the northern nomad people and the south people who is normally live on the farm field. So this is always the battlefield through the Chinese history. And so Yanshan and Yinshan is a little bit two different places, but boundaries. And here, actually, we can see from all over this poem, all the figures, 1 day, second day, Yanshan, Yinshan, is not an accurate description. It's just telling it's roughly that's the big background. No matter it's 1 day's trip to the Yellow River or 2 days, or no matter the second trip it's 1 day or 2 days, it doesn't matter. I'm going to the north, to the frontier areas to battle with the Rouran, the other country's name. And also, the battlefield could be Yinshan or could be Yanshan. Doesn't matter. So this all the adjacent frontier lines with the country of Rouran. 万里赴戎机，关山度若飞. So that's 10,000 miles march to the battlefield. 戎机, that's the battlefield or the battles, the wars. 关山度若飞, 关山. So we have some of the poems see this word. 关山, 关 is a blockade castle, 山 is the mountains. So this is a very typical word to describe the northern frontiers. It's always with snow mountains and blockage castles. So when you see the 关山, it always refers to the frontier, and most probably it's the north or west frontiers of the ancient China. 关山度若飞. So through the battlefields, just like flying. So this is a little very draft description of the battles. So it's riding the horse from this field to that field. So there's and search and battle and pursue. So that's all about battles. 朔气传金柝，寒光照铁衣. 朔 is the north. So that in this north place, the very cold area is passed through the weapons. 金柝 is the weapons to the person, Mulan herself. So it means so cold a place. 寒光照铁衣. So the light becomes cold because it's a very northern place. And the very cold light shines on the armors, the iron armor, 铁衣, the armor. So this is a very, very difficult and cold place. 将军百战死，壮士十年归. This sentence is a 互文. It's a kind of the writing types, writing skills. So it's not means the general have 100 battles and died. 壮士, the soldier, spent 10 years in the battlefield and then came home alive. So this 互文 should be explained as the general and soldiers, they all went through 100 battles and someone died. And the general and the soldiers, they all through the 10 years battlefield and then came home alive. So it's doesn't mean the general died through 100 battles and the soldiers came back alive. So this technique is called 互文. In English writings, there's also this writing technique, 互文. The very famous sentence, the glory that was Greece and the grandeur that was Rome. Actually, the meaning is the glory and the grandeur goes to Greece and Rome. Okay, so we share the same writing techniques. Now Mulan came back. 归来见天子，天子坐明堂. 天子, the emperor, the son of God. That's the name by the Han people. So from in this poem, you can see so many things or names is a mixture of the nomad people and the Han people. At previous, the emperor was so-called Khan, the name by the nomad people, and now the emperor was so-called as 天子, the name by the Han people. So Mulan came back to see the emperor, and the emperor is sitting in the big palace, 天子坐明堂. 策勋十二转，赏赐百千强。策勋 remark the merits, remark the wars, result. 十二转 转 is mark one time, so marked 12 times of the merits. So this means there has so many merits and so many victories by Mulan. 赏赐百千强 thus the emperor gave Mulan a lot of the monies. 百千强 more than hundreds and thousands. 强 is more than. After all these monies gave to Mulan for the merits, for her merits, 可汗问所忆. You see here, the name came back to Khan again, the nomad's name for the emperor. The emperor asked Mulan, what you really want? Anything else? Mulan 不用尚书郎，愿驰千里足，送儿还故乡。Mulan said, I won't take the position as 尚书郎. 尚书郎 is the premier minister. It may not be exactly the position as a premier minister, but this means gave her a very, very high rankings. And at the marking the merits, 12 victories, actually is also not a real figure, but it means a lot of victories, a lot of merits by Mulan. So that's the way of Chinese writing. So when you see the figures, normally it's not real figures. It normally refers a lot or a quite few. So normally it's in two extreme status, very, very big figure or a very small figure. So the Mulan doesn't want the high-ranking positions. 愿驰千里足. 千里足, 足 is feet. So normally the name is 千里马, which means a horse can run for 1,000 miles in a day. That means 千里马. And 千里足 here is for the rhythm. So but everybody know it as the Chinese. It's a horse. So he just want the emperor gave her a very, very quick horse and send her back home. 送儿还故乡, send her back home. So one question here. Does the emperor know Mulan is a girl? Let's see. Mulan came back to her home finally. 爷娘闻女来，出郭相扶将. 爷 again, her father and mother heard about Mulan is coming back to home, and they went out of the town's wall. 郭 is the town's wall. In the ancient time, the big village or a town, they also have their own wall to protect the town. So they went out the village or went out the town. 相扶将. 相扶, it means they are supporting each other. This means her mother and father is really old and they cannot walk by themselves. 将 has no meanings. So here we can see in the previous sentence it said 壮士十年归. So the soldiers came back after 10 years service in the army. And from the context we know Mulan went out around her 20s. And so her father and mother normally is around 40s or maybe a little less than 40s, because in the ancient China the people they gave birth in a very early age, before 20 normally. So her father and mother in her 40s. And now when Mulan came back father and mother cannot walk by themselves. They had to help each other to came out village. So that means Mulan spent much more time in the battlefield, 20 years maybe. 阿姊闻妹来，当户理红妆。阿姊 the elder sister of Mulan, heard about Mulan is back home, and she make up her face, 当户理红妆. This means it's a big event, so she want her get prepared and to be the best status. 小弟闻姊来，磨刀霍霍向猪羊。小弟 junior brother. So in the previous sentence we analyzed Mulan may have a junior brother. Yes, here it is. The junior brother heard about this news, and he make his knife and went to the pigs and went to the ships. So that means he will slaughter the pig and the sheep and make a whole big dinner. So normally in the Asian China, pig and sheep is only in the big festivals, normally the spring festivals. When a guest came, they only serve with the rice and with the chickens. Chickens were popular, but still for the very good friends or guests. So here it's just like through the big festivals and through the new spring festivals. So everything is to the utmost. 开我东阁门，坐我西阁床. So here is Mulan herself. So he went back to her own room. 东阁西阁, so that is all not real rooms. It means the Mulan go around the rooms she lived and look at here and sit there. It's not refers to the east house, the west house. Doesn't mean that. 脱我战时袍，找我旧时裳. So I take off my armor and put on my clothes at the girl, the old clothes. 裳 is a clothes. 当窗理云鬓，对镜贴花黄. 云鬓, the women's hair. 云 is clouds. It refers the women's hair is thick and long, just like the clouds. So he, at the window, she comb her clothes, and at the mirror put some of the things on her face. That's for makeup. So there's a saying that in the North Dynasty, the normal people should not use the paste, the powders to make up. Though Mulan can only use the hua huang. It's a kind of stuff to put on the face. Someone said it's kind of paper to put up on the face as a makeup. 对镜贴花黄. So Mulan put on her girl's clothes and makeup. 出门看伙伴，伙伴皆惊忙. 火 is similar as this 火. So it's the friends, the Paul, all the friends in the army. So with all the girls addressing, Mulan came out her room and see her friends. And her friends was all astonished. We have been through 12 years, and nobody know you are a girl. So here, we answer the question. The emperor doesn't know Mulan is a girl, so he won't give Mulan a high-ranking positions, because in that time, women is not allowed to have a position. The woman is always kept in home. So the man and woman is not equal that time. And the other thing is, we have been through 12 years. It's also not the real figure. So it's all, this 12 means it's so many years, 20 years, maybe 30 years. It's not a real figure. So through so many years, nobody know Mulan is a girl. So that's the female hero story in the ancient China. 雄兔脚扑朔，雌兔眼眯离。双兔傍地走，安能辨我是雌雄？ So the final four sentence is the answer to Mulan's pause to Mulan's friends from the battlefield. So her friends are all astonished, and Mulan, the answer is with so smart. 雄兔 the male rabbit. 脚扑朔 the feet of the male rabbit. He waved his forehand. And 雌兔眼迷离 the female rabbit narrow her eyes. So this means when the rabbit is sitting still, the male rabbit with his forehand. So you can distinguish it's a male rabbit, and the female rabbit narrow her eyes. So you can also distinguish by the eyes. 双兔傍地走. So if the two rabbits, a male rabbit, a female rabbit, they are running on the field, in the field, how do you distinguish it's a male rabbit or it's a female rabbit? You cannot. So this is the answer by Mulan to her good friends, the Pauls. So Mulan, from this sentence, Mulan is not with the courage, not only with the capability, maybe she got some of the kung fu martial arts skills, and also, of course, she's smart. And for typical Chinese, the things we learn from this poem is a little bit Me Too spirit. So the woman is capable. Even in the year around 500, the Chinese people still have that thoughts. The woman is capable. And also the xiao. So the Chinese people pays the greatest respect to the elders, to the fathers, mothers. So that's the root cause for Mulan to replace her father to join the army, because she followed the ultimate spirits of the ancient Chinese, xiao. This is a very original story on Mulan. And in a lot of stories, she was so-called Hua Mulan. Hua is the family name, but nobody can confirm it's a real history figure or not. Anyhow, it doesn't matter. And someone also explained Mulan as a nomad people. Maybe it's true, But anyhow, she lives as a Han people. The men go to the farming field and the women stay in house doing the sewing work. That's the Han people's lifestyle, not the nomad people. So all this doesn't matter. Even the emperor was so-called as a nomad's name, Khan, or a Chinese emperor's name, Tianzi. So it doesn't matter. I think the people became into one kind. The living style, the outlookings, after many years, hundreds of years living together, and the culture, the living style is same. Okay, and now Mulan became the female hero worldwide. So it doesn't matter she's a Chinese or not. So through the very original story, you can have some other aspects of the Mulan. So with the years go on, everybody and every time has his own views on Mulan and reveals different aspects of Mulan. It doesn't matter as well. She is a real hero for all the time. Okay, I hope you enjoy it and bye-bye.